If you're someone like me who has just started on a fitness or a weight loss journey, where you're looking for a simple and effective solution to define your weight loss objective, define all the fitness activities that you plan to do, track the actual progress, and understand which areas need to be improved in order to achieve your objective, then this template will be helpful to you. In this video, I will walk through an Excel template that you can use to track your fitness or weight loss journey. I'll start with the overview of the features and the benefits of this template, and then I will do a live demo of the template to illustrate how it works. Now, to define the framework that we are using in this template, we set the weight loss goal or weight goal, and then we define the different fitness activities that we plan to do, and we can define specific targets for each of those activities. The template can track up to 15 such activities. Then we have a planner part of this template, which allows you to plan the upcoming week. What activities are you going to do in the next week? You can record them. And then as the week goes by, you will actually track the actual activities that you did. And then periodically, maybe once a week, you could look at the dashboard to understand how much progress you're making against your goals, which areas of activities are falling behind, and what do you need to do to improve in order to achieve your fitness goal. So this is the basic framework, and the template can support both metric and the English system of measurements. And there is an automated and interactive fitness dashboard I will do a demo of. And then, as I mentioned, the weekly planner is available to help you plan your activities, not just a tracker, it's also a planner. And then finally, the printable portion of the tracker and the planner will be very helpful if you don't want to be just entering data throughout the week. You may want to just record them, on a piece of paper. And so we have a printable versions of the tracker and the planner also inbuilt into the template. The template requires Microsoft 365 subscription at this point. And if you're someone who doesn't have it, but if there are enough people who are interested in a version that can be compatible with older versions of Excel, please post your comment in the comment section below. And if there are enough people who would find it helpful, I will be happy to create a version that will be compatible with older versions of Excel as well. This template is available from Indzara.com. And if you have any questions about this template, please email support@indzara.com. Now let's go and take a look at the template. Here is the template where I have filled in with some data so that I can illustrate how it works. When you download the template, the most of the information will be blank so that you can go ahead and enter your own information. So to start with, we have the settings sheet where you can enter your basic information. So in this case, for example, I could choose whether I want to use an English system of measurement or metric. I've chosen English. And so if I choose English, then automatically the measurement will be in inches and pounds, height and weight, I mean. And then if I choose metric, it will become kilograms for the weight, and then the centimeters for the height. So let me just show you. If I choose metric, you can see that it's centimeters and kilograms. So that's how it'll support both systems of measurement. You can type in your height, you can type in your starting weight, and then immediately it'll say if your starting weight is 185, according to the BMI, standard BMI calculations, it is overweight. But let's say if I am, 150 is my starting weight, then it says normal. So that's immediate indication, what is your category with the starting weight. And then the goal weight is what I want to be at within a certain period of time. The starting date is when I actually start using this template to track my activities. The week start day is when do you want the week to begin. So the template has a lot of calculations which are going to summarize what happened in a week, but I don't want to restrict everybody to say your week has to start on a Sunday, because you may have a different way of measuring your week beginning day. So this is just to illustrate how customizable this template is, so you can actually choose when your week start date should be. Then you go to the red signal threshold. So when we look at the dashboard, you will see that we color the progress as, green and yellow and red. And so here is to say, if I don't achieve at least 80% of my target or goal, then it should be colored in red. That's what this means. So you can leave it like this. If you want, you can change this to 90%, and it's again flexible. Then you enter the list of activities and set the goals. So here I have entered 15 activities. The template can support 15 activities. And I've entered all these activities, and almost all of them are things that I actually plan to do on my own. And then the number of units and things have to be changed. But in terms of the number of activities, these are some of the activities that I want to do in my journey as well. So now, as an example, I've said walking 30 minutes every day, biking 45 miles every week, something like that, where you can type in, if I don't want 30 minutes, if I want to do 20 minutes, you can do that. If you don't want to do walking, if you want to do some other activity, you can just, delete walking and type in your own activity. So it's completely flexible to accommodate your fitness activities that you plan to do. And then you can type in the goal, whatever number is your goal. And then the units, again, are customizable. The units don't really do anything except that it's displayed right next to the amount. So it's easy to read, like 20 minutes, 45 miles, 6 hours. This is just to illustrate you can type in anything as a unit and it's fine. And then per day or a week. So the template can allow you to set goals per day or per week. And I've again shown, samples of day and week. So I can do, I want to exercise 200 minutes a week, or I can do 20 floors a day is my goal. So you can choose your daily or weekly goals here. Please do not duplicate the same activity. The activity names need to be very unique, Once you enter the 15 activities and then the goals, actually, you don't need to enter 15. If you have only 5, that's fine. If you have 4, that's fine. Maximum is 15, but you can enter any number up to 15 according to your fitness planning. Now, once you've entered this, now we can move on to the planning portion of this. So on a weekly basis, again, there's no rule around this, but this is just my suggestion on how I was thinking when I built this template, is you can enter a start date. So I've entered 7th June, and if I want to enter another, let's say 14th June, no problem, I can enter. So now what happens is on 14th June, what are the activities that I'm planning to do? That's what I will enter here. So for example, at the top here, just to make some note, if you want, for example, somebody's birthday or something like that. So it's a reminder to you that you may not be able to do the certain fitness activities planned because you have some other commitments, right? So you can enter something like that. I've entered here the weather. If weather is going to play an important role in impacting your weekly activities, then you can look at the weather forecast and then plan your week so that any outdoor activities you want to do, you can do it when there is no rain, right? So anyway, that's what I've done here. I've entered, something for each day at the top. You can enter anything you want in your case. And then I say, okay, 7 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to do exercise for 30 minutes. So I can choose from the drop down of any activity that I want to do. And I've entered, there are 10 different things that you can do every day. So I've entered 7 o'clock exercise, 10:30, I want to go walking for 30 minutes, 12 o'clock, I want to climb up, stairs for 25 stairs or floors. And then you can also enter things that you want doing throughout the day. Like I want to intake so much amount of water. I want to meditate, for 64 minutes. 64 is interesting. Again, these are just random numbers. I'm not recommending any fitness or wellness recommendations here. I'm just illustrating how the template can work for anybody's fitness goals. You just have to enter the activity and the amount, and you can enter, how many ever minutes you want to do that. You can also do things like eating dinner before 7 p.m. So this is something that I want to do. Personally, I want to make sure that I eat my dinner enough time ahead of my sleeping time. And so I want to do it by 7 p.m. So in this case, I will just enter one. Basically, it's one day or one time on that day I've achieved that. I plan to achieve that goal. And so similarly, eating dinner before 7 p.m. I plan to do every day here, but then you can see that I didn't do that for 18 June. And that's just to say maybe on that day at 7 o'clock, I have to be somewhere else. And so maybe I won't be able to finish my dinner on time by 7 p.m. So I'm not going to meet that. I know this is the planning phase. So the better you're planning, the better it is when you go to execution. So this is just to illustrate how you can plan each day of the coming week. And there is a results section on the right side, which is helpful when you're planning. So all the 15 activities, now the template says 5 activities need your attention, because you can see that biking, I'm only reaching 98%. And then here, I'm definitely not reaching my goals. So now you can make changes to the activities in order to increase your chances of meeting your goals. So let me show another version where I actually have. Okay, so this is another version of the data. This is the same template, it's just the data is different. So I can illustrate how this works. If biking is the only activity which needs me to adjust to meet my goal. So let's say, for example, I go into biking and I say, instead of 5, let me do 10 miles of biking on that day. And now you see that I've hit this 100%, and it says, awesome, great week planned. So basically, this can act as a good validation mechanism for you. When you're doing your planning, you're already feeling that if you execute this plan, you're going to achieve your goals for the week. So that's the objective. So let me go back to the other file, which has a lot more data. And so that's the planning stage. And then we go to the next stage of tracking actual. But before we go there, I do recommend you to print this. If you're someone who doesn't always have the computers open, or if you just prefer to have something printed and posted on your office wall or at home, so you can constantly see and know what you need to do every day, definitely print and then post it wherever you want. It's designed to be print friendly, so it's already ready to be printed, as you can see here. And then there you go. So that's your planning step. Now that you have done that, now you're ready to go and track the actuals. Tracking actuals is very straightforward as well. So let me unhide all the columns. So we have 15 activities here. When you download the template, you will not have any data. Like all of this will be empty. So you can enter your own information. So for example, the first column is the date, which will automatically be populated. The second column is the weight, which you will enter your weight every day. If you measure it every day. If you don't measure it every day, then obviously you will have some gaps. That's okay. Then you have all these different activities that you will be entering the data. So every day on May 1st, I did 32 minutes of walking, 5 miles of biking, so something like that. Now, when you, in your case, if you only have 10 activities, not 15, you can just highlight and hide. So you don't need to see the 10 blank columns, because if you only have 10 activities. Now, the other thing you can do is I can select, for example, I'm going to go in and say, I want to print the next 3 weeks of information. And so I can select this. I'm selecting from 15 June all the way to 5th July. And I'm going to hit Control P. And now it will show some other dates, but make sure that you do print selection. When you do that, what happens here is now it will show from 15th June to 5th July. And we have a few extra columns. So let me just do fit sheet. So now, for example, it could be something like this. If you have so many activities, and you can now print this and you can record the actual progress that you're making every day on a piece of paper, which might be more handy. I think sometimes I do feel like it's easier to do it that way rather than specifically open the Excel file, and then type it in every day. I may write it on my whiteboard, or I could just print it and then write it on a piece of paper. So please use whatever mechanism works best for you. But the template allows you to print, upcoming days with empty data, empty visuals. So then you can write down in a pen or a pencil the actual progress that you're making. So that's the tracking part. So once you go through the week, and then at the end of the week, you can sit down and type in the information for what happened during that week. So that's the tracking part. Now for the final part is, I would recommend looking at it once a week at least. You can do it more frequently, but at least once a week, to come to the dashboard. So this dashboard has 2 pages. The fitness tracker dashboard provides you a summary. So this is the reason why I was showing you this file, because it has 15 activities, so you can see the complete thing. 15 activities, and they are either green, red, or yellow based on whether you have achieved your target or goal or not. And so, for example, walking, I have achieved 213% of my goal. You can see here that I've walked 1,195 minutes out on a goal of 560 minutes in the last 4 weeks. For biking, I only have biked 132 miles out of 180 miles. That is my target. In the last 4 weeks, I've only done 132, so that's only 73%. So that's why it's red. If it's between 80% and 100, then it'll be yellow. You can see here yellow. At the top, you have the number of your current weight, and then whether your current weight is above or under the goal weight. What is the current BMI? What status are you in? Like what category do you fit based on the BMI? And then you have a weight trend over the last 4 weeks. Now I can change this from last 4 weeks to only show me the latest week, or only show me the last 12 weeks or 26, and so on. So you have an option to change the duration that this dashboard is reflecting. When we move to the right side, the last 4 weeks kind of still carry over to this, but now you can see the weekly trends. So on the left side, the summary dashboard only provides you an overall number, but it doesn't tell you how you have done every week on those activities. But here you can see that, for example, the 4 weeks, I actually reached my goal of weekly goal of 420 ounces of water intake for one of those weeks, but then the other 3 weeks I did not. So if I don't want to look at this activity, I can do biking. And again, my biking weekly goal is 45 miles. I reached that 45 only 1 week. The next week I reached 42, which is yellow, because it's more than 80%. And then the other 2 weeks I have not done enough, and that's why it is red, reddish pink. And then like I mentioned, you can change the activity to look at the different activities. The bottom chart shows you the daily. So the top one shows the weekly, the bottom one shows the daily. Otherwise, everything is exactly the same. This is comparing against the daily goal, and then what is the daily average that I'm actually doing, and how many days am I meeting the goal, how many days am I not. And so this again quickly tells you which activities are you not doing well consistently, and which ones do you need to focus on to help achieve your weight goal here. And so this is the dashboard sheet, and it's a cycle. So once you look at it once a week and determine how you're performing, you go back and plan your next week and make sure that you are sticking to the plan, and then you track your actual progress during the week. So that cycle of planning, tracking, reviewing will continue to happen. And you can use this template for up to 2 years. It's set up. You can actually even extend it even more than 2 years easily. But maybe after some period, you may want to reset your goal, and you can come in, or you can save a version of the file and then set a new goal weight and maybe define your activities again. And then you go through the cycle again of planning, tracking, reviewing. So that's how this template can be used. I hope this template is useful, and I would really like to receive your feedback on how you go about with your fitness objectives and activities. And if you have any suggestions on how I can make this template better, please post them in the comment section below. Once again, this template is available for download from Indzara.com, along with more than 100 plus other templates that we have. If you have any questions, please email us at support@indzara.com. I'll see you soon in another video about another Excel template. Thank you very much for watching.